CCS, this is Eric Stephen Walker of Backwards Hat Hitting. Pumped for the 2025 school year. I want to go over a couple things about offensive approach and game plan with you as we approach this season. So can't wait to share. Even more than offensive game plan is a game plan to winning defensively, offensively, and as far as how we carry ourselves, our energy, our attitude, and our effort. So we'll break this down into multiple things: offensive goals, defensive goals, energy goals for the game. Okay, offensive game plans, approach, what a quality plate appearance is, and then how we're going to win pitches. We'll break down things with base running, and we'll break down mechanics of a swing and approach at the plate based on the count. But we're going to get a really in-depth dive to information today. So can't wait to share it with you. And okay, first thing we want to talk about are the 9 offensive goals per game. All right, so number 1 is 7 or more runs in a game. You have an 85% chance of winning a high school game if you score 7 or more runs total in the game. So everything we gear up on how we take in at bat is our contribution to 7 runs a game. The second offensive goal is we want to have 1 inning of 3 or more runs. Now there is a stat at the major league level, and it's even higher at the high school and college levels, okay? But 65% of the wins at the major league level, the team that wins has more runs in 1 inning than the other team does the entire game. Which means if we have 1 inning of 3 or more runs, okay, if we do that, we're going to end up winning 2/3 of the game on that alone, okay? So, you don't have to play for a big inning. It's not, get 3 guys on base and walk and set up the long ball, but it's important that we play for that, okay? Third goal, 50% of our leadoff hitters on base. One of the most important jobs you have as a team player is if you're the first batter in the inning, getting on base, setting the table. The percentages of scoring if the leadoff gets on to if not is significant difference. So if we get 50% or more of our leadoffs on base, that also ups our chance of winning. We want to score in 50% of the innings, all right? If we do that, I broke down the statistics of it. I'm seeing if I got the exact percentage, but I think it's like a 20% additional chance of winning if you score in 50% of the innings. Next one, we want to be greater than or equal to 4 extra base hits in a game. A double, essentially, a double or triple home run, it either clears the bases of everyone and puts you in scoring position, or it may just score yourself too if it's a home run. Okay, that doesn't mean we swing for the fence every pitch, every at bat, but we want the other team to know you're going to do damage. When they know you can do damage, they pitch you more careful, they're more likely to walk you, so you'll get free bases that way as well. Our fourth goal is we want to steal 4 bases against high school pitchers and catchers. In general, you can do that. Essentially, you're stealing yourself into scoring position or stealing yourself into a position that a ground ball or fly ball can score you. Being good on the bases contributes to more runs. Okay. We also want 4 or more extra bases. That means, let's say it's a first to third. So we hit a single, guy goes to third, they throw it to third, we take second. Catcher blocks the ball in the dirt, so it's not a wild pitch. We get up to second anyway. Being aggressive on the bases, but we have to plan that in. Okay, and the last thing is we want 5 freebies. Hit by pitches, base on balls, anything like that, okay? So essentially just be those 2 things. If we're a tough hitter, we know how to fight and we have an approach, that can happen. So those are our 9 goals. If we gear everything toward that, each one of those you stack is a good chance of winning. I've studied this with my teams in the past that I've coached. If you hit 2 of those goals in a game, you have a 95% chance of winning. I've never had a team lose a game when they hit 3 of those goals. So I might have forgot the most important one. 75% quality plate appearance. All right, so we'll break down what a quality plate appearance is, but a hit, a walk, a hit by pitch, an RBI, a barrel in the first 4 innings of the game, taking the count to 5 or more pitches. There are multiple things. We'll talk about what a quality pitch is in more detail in another video. Okay, so why are quality plate appearances important? If you walk, if you get hit by a pitch, if you get a base hit, obviously you're contributing to your team winning. Okay, now, in a 7-inning high school game, you're gonna have 21 outs that occur for both teams if it goes the full 7 and both teams hit in the 7th inning. So 21 outs are gonna occur, meaning 21 things are not gonna end how we want them to, okay? So quality is not just hit by pitch or a walk. If we get an RBI in a situation, so it's not a -10 score, so we're not down 11-1. Okay, an RBI as an out will count. if we do a team job. So let's say the coach calls a hit and run, you hit it hard on the ground behind the runner, he's able to go first to third. Even if you get out, you did a team job. You sacrifice bunt, sacrifice fly. Let's say early in the game, you take 2 pitches in the count and the hitter steals from first to third on 2 pitches. That counts, okay? 5 plus pitches in at bat in the first 4 innings. We want to extend the starter. As a starter gets deeper, we see him more. We get a feel for him. He gets more tired. We get into the bullpen, more likely to win. So if you do any of those things we've just mentioned, that counts as a quality plate appearance. Our goal as a team and individually is to be at 75% or higher quality plate appearance. Approach, timing, all of that, how we see the ball is way more important to me than mechanics, but there are a few basic mechanical things that must be true. Okay, the first thing, the most important thing, when we pick up our foot to stride forward, our hands pinned to our shoulder, they can be under, they can be above. But it's a forward move. We don't load back. It's a forward move, but our weight sinks into our back hip and our back heel. So bam, we're getting pinned back there, okay? But we make a forward move as we do that. Second thing is how the swing starts. Now, as we land on our stride, we want to land on the toe. We don't leak our hips when we land on our toe. When we exchange the weight, here's the best way to do it. If you slam that front heel straight into the ground, it will pull your hips open. You don't have to think about rotating or throwing the hips. If you get all that weight as fast as you can from back heel into front heel, your weight will transfer correctly, okay? Third mechanic, I see all this like snap or around. No, the hands go straight to the ball. We get level through it and then finish just on an up slope past the ball. You don't want to think up or you'll be tilted about like this. Think level, get down and level the ball, finish just slightly high, and you'll be at that 9-degree angle uphill that Ted Williams described. I've looked at the science of it. 9 degrees is about perfect. The stance. I'm going to tell you this. Your most natural way that you feel like you can swing hard, as long as your weight is in your back heel when you load, is probably your best way to hit. Okay? Some guys are lower. Some guys are taller. The main thing is making sure the weight's in your backside, and then it can transfer to your front side without it overly... not overly aggressive. We want to be aggressive, but in too much movement. Like, we don't want to create unnecessary movement. We want to be short and efficient. Okay? So the stance a lot of times will depend on your athleticism. You're a short, squatty guy, you got big legs, you might have a more bent down stance. You're a tall and lanky guy, good hip rotation, you might stand taller. A lot of that is going to depend. And then your right eye, is it dominant? Your left eye, is it dominant? How we get our head to see the ball best also determines our stance. Are we a same hand dominant, so we throw left, hit left? Are you a throw right, hit left? Is your top hand or bottom hand dominant? A lot of those things will determine the stance. So we're not set in stone on one type of pre-pitch stance. What we do want, though, is whenever you stride to get to your toe, your hands pin back near the shoulder. It can be slightly above, slightly below, or right on it. And that weight is in your back leg, back heel, and back hip. Should you land open, closed, or even? All right? That's the question that they have. Now, I've been doing a lot of biomechanical research, all right, and looking at former MLB hitters with their biomechanics as well. If your hips are extremely horizontally flexible, so you can spin really fast and aggressively, you need to land more closed. If you're average in athleticism, you land about dead even. And if you are extremely stiff and can't move your hips rotationally very well, you need to cheat barely open. Here's the thing. The weight from the legs will be transferred to the upper body based on how quick we can start and stop. So the max amount of force that can be slammed into a stop pulls up into the body. So if your hips spin a lot and you're open, they're not going to stop in time. If your hips are tight and you try to be closed, you'll never start them enough. Okay? Tight hips, barely open. Normal athleticism, even. Extremely flexible and twitchy, need to be a little bit closed. That's what pretty much all of the good major league hitters of all time have done. And if you find an example where it's not, I would like to see it. But pretty much any of them I've analyzed, and I've analyzed hundreds of the good hitters of all time, I've noticed that. So that's one of the most important things. If you feel like you're flying off the ball or you're not getting your hips into it, analyze that. Approach practice, okay? Interviewed a lot of championship level coaches and talked to them. And I've got to play for Dusty Hart, who's won 2 JUCO national championships. Frank Anderson, who's been a pitching coach for Texas and Tennessee in 2002 at Texas, 2024 in Tennessee. won 2 national championships at the Division I level. He was my head coach at OSU. Mike Matheny was my head coach down at Southeastern. And, you know, he was the all-time winningest D2 coach upon his retirement. He's won a national title. Gathering info from them and a bunch of the good high school coaches too. The teams that hit well, they'll get more swings with line drives in one practice than a lot of teams do in a season. So the thing I want to challenge you with this year, every day before you leave, get 100 line drives. It could be off the tee, front toss, short toss, machine, live. I don't care where it is. If you get 100 line drives a day, and I personally like 300 more, but if you count to 100, you're not going to go wrong. We'll significantly outwork every other team in the cage. Not 100 swings, 100 line drives. Obviously, start with the tee. If you can't hit a ball when it's sitting still, how are you going to hit it when it's moving? You want to master. I would say, I like the thing of going low away, low middle, low in, mid away, mid in, high away, high mid, high in, and just keep working that set where you're working on different locations. Then the McGuire tee, which we'll have videos of this, but you set one tee 6 inches in front of what you think a normal contact point is. You work your normal swing, but you let your hands extend. So once you're there, you push through and get extended through the ball. And you'll slightly pull it from where you think you should hit it, but it gets you extending and firing past the ball. Set a ball back in the normal spot, take a swing, and watch the line drive difference you have. The A-Rod tee. So if this is your hands normally, you flip this hand over, you push straight down to the ball, get your hands working straight at the ball. You can let go at contact. You're going to hit just a 2-hop ground ball the opposite way. Then once you're done doing that a couple times, flip back. You will feel so strong once you have your top hand engaged, and you'll barrel the ball up. You move to front toss. I like it. Now, when we front toss, we want to make sure that ball is zipped on a line. You don't have to throw it hard. You can throw it hard. You can throw it slow. We don't want the slow pitch angle. It needs to be working level to down. Okay. Once we do that, we're going to work Barry Bonds tee or Barry Bonds flip. So he had a drill where he would try and spike the ball right off the plate, then hit it. This is with the hard swing, but going straight to the ball. One hop it off the L screen, hit the L screen at the bottom, barely hit the L screen, hit the back net low, hit the back net mid low, hit the back net in the middle of the net, middle of the net to high, the very top of the back net. And he said the purpose was a lot of guys try and dip and rip, and they get swinging, hitting fly balls. Because if I go ground ball and work into a line drive, I'm getting my hands to the ball at the shortest route possible with line drives. Okay. Angled front toss, we want to go, if you're a righty, will be from the left fielder side. If you're a lefty, from the right fielder side. We work to the outside corner. You must pick the perfect contact point to hit this ball. If you don't, you'll swing and miss early. You'll swing and miss late. It makes you keep your front shoulder on, and it makes you hit a low line drive the other way. Do we want to only hit the ball low? No, we want to elevate it. But when we do that, we can hit the ball wherever we want. Okay, the 0-2 count in front toss. What we're going to do, when we get 2 strikes, we're going to time late. Okay, and we'll talk about that on approach later. But basically, we try and hit every ball to the opposite of the pitcher's side as hard as we can. If you see off speed, you have time to adjust and pull. But we don't miss early with 2 strikes. After that, we go to a 2-0 count drill. We don't miss late. So I'd rather you swing and miss early, or swing and miss, than be late, get jammed on 2-0. On 2-0, we don't miss. We're on time to early, and we drive the ball. If you can't, you take it. Okay, count hitting. Then I encourage you on front toss or off a live pitcher, go through a count. 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 2-2. Battle your way through counts. Mix the pitches up so you get to thinking like a count would be, and you take the pressure off yourself when you get in the game and you've prepared for it. Okay? Situations, hit and run, hit behind a guy, infield in, we need to score him, so you hit it in the air. Infield back, we need to score him, you hit it on the ground. 2 quick tips on that. If you need to elevate the ball, relax your hands, swing free. If you need to hit a ground ball, tighten your hands and swing hard. Hard as a rollover, smooth as a fly ball. Till you step in, I'll demonstrate that drill, but we hold the bat in front of us, we turn our back foot and step in. We just let the bat stay still, but we basically step around our hands to feel what a load should feel like. So if we do those drills along with live BP on the field, and you don't get out of there until you hit 100 line drives, we should be the best hitting team in the state for 3 years. There's 3 type of hitters. You're gonna be labeled as one of these 3 type of hitters based on your athleticism and your ability. Okay, we have Giancarlo Stanton, we have Freddie Freeman, and we have a Luis Arraez. Okay, so Giancarlo Stanton's a power guy, extreme power guy, can hit for average, but not great speed on the bases. Okay, this is what would be your prototypical 3, 4, or maybe not 3-hole, but 4, 5, and 6 hitters somewhere in that part of the order. We have Freddie Freeman. That's going to be your guy that hits for great contact, great average, great speed, has some power, more of a doubles guy, but does have some home run potential. Then we have Luis Arraez, who's more of your power is not going to be his game. I'm not saying he can't hit a double or home run. It's not going to happen as much. Doubles is about his max power. Really good at contact. Has some speed on the bases as well. Okay, so you'll be labeled one of those 3 hitters. Now, we're going to have 3 types of count: green, yellow, and red. Green obviously means go. We're ready to go. So it doesn't matter which of the 3 you are. If your count is 1-0, 2-0, 3-1, you are ready to go. Okay? For the Giancarlo Stanton and Freddie Freeman type hitters, 0-0, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, 2-1. Okay, the reason we cut off 2-1 and 0-0 with Luis Arraez is if our chances of contact are less than 50%, we don't want to swing at a marginal pitch. But with the guy with Freddie Freeman and Giancarlo Stanton have a power potential where they could score every runner on base with the swing, we're going to be more aggressive in that count. Okay, yellow count, and so that's really aggressive. We're never late. We only swing at our pitch in those counts. Yellow counts for Giancarlo Stanton type hitter, 0-1, 1-1, 3-2. For the Freddie Freeman hitter, 0-1 or 1-1, maybe 3-2, depending on the hitter. We'll talk about that individually. For the Luis Arraez type hitter, 0-0, 1-1 or 2-1. Okay, yellow count is if you get a pitch you think you can handle, put a barrel on it, take the base hit. If we're in a situation we need a job done, make sure you get the job done on that pitch and don't wait till you get to 2 strikes to get it done. So that's what's called a yellow count. Okay, red count for the power hitters, 0-2, 1-2. And then for Freddie Freeman, 0-2, 1-2, sometimes 3-2, depending on the hitter in the situation. That's the pitch we'll talk about. And then for Luis Arraez, 0-2, 1-2, 3-2. So the Luis Arraez type hitters, unless we're up big and green light you, it's going to be an auto take on 3-0. Our big hitters, Giancarlo Stanton, Freddie Freeman type hitters, in plus counts, you could get the green light. Most likely you will if we have a chance to do damage, take the lead, increase our lead. But we have to work on those counts before we're going to green light you on there. So we'll label you that type of hitter. Topic we want to talk about, and the inverse will be true when we're on defense, is how to win a pitch. And it's not that we want to win 50% or more. We want to be significantly more. 67 to 75% minimum pitches won, all right? On offense, here's how you lose a pitch. You take a strike, you get out, you don't cash in on an opportunity to do a job. So we're up 2-1, bottom of the 6th, Elijah's rolling, 1 out, runner on 3rd, they're playing back. 0-0, he throws it down the middle, you get hit a ground ball to 2nd, bam, we take a 3-1 lead instead of 2-1 going in the last inning, and you don't cash in, we lose that pitch. So that makes sense. Okay, here's how we win pitches. There's a lot more opportunity to win pitches. The pitcher throws a ball, we get hit by a pitch, we get a base hit, we get an RBI in a situation that it can change the game. If we're down 15, obviously that doesn't count if we get out. You do a team job, hit and run, bunt. You move a runner in proper leverage, so meaning runner on 2nd, no outs, you hit behind him, you get out, he gets to 3rd, we need to run. It's a 1-2 run game. Good job. You take a strike, but you let a runner steal the base. Obviously not strike 3. We score a run on the plate. With 2 strikes, you reach base on an error. So obviously a weak ball, we're not going to consider that good. But you reach on an error by putting in a tough pitcher's pitch in contact, we win that pitch. Okay? For defense, again, we throw a strike, we get an out. We throw a strike where they don't get a hit. I just want to clarify that. And we keep them from doing a team job. So it's way more simple on defense. We have a lot more opportunities on offense to win a pitch. So we're going to set and measure how many pitches we can separate defense and pitching. We are not going to for our goals on the game. Okay, overarching goal for the team on defense, 3 or less runs given up. If we score 7, they score 3. We have a 4-run margin to not lose the game. That's a good job. Okay, no inning with more than 1 run. If you minimize the amount of innings they score, 1 run per inning. 7 is the max they could score. Our goal is 7. They're not going to score every inning. That's happened in, I think, 0.5% of games that a team scores in every inning. Let's see. Less than 5 minutes per inning. So from the time we take the field to the time the third out is recorded, we want to attack the offense with so much aggression they are off the field and we're back hitting so we can score and win in less than 5 minutes. Okay, so pitchers, you got to be aggressive, intent, attack. Catchers, keep the pace going. Fielders, make the play, throw it across, bounce around, let's get the outs. No more than 5 hitters in an inning. We like to make that 4, but sometimes we need to pitch around. Be careful. Go attack them. The less hitters that get up, the less opportunity to score. We want between 70 and 80% first pitch strike. If we're over 80, they're going to tend to tee off. Okay, but I would rather miss over 80 than under 50. 70 to 80 is like we're attacking the zone, but we miss enough they can't just comfortably go up there swinging blind. 1 or less errors, physical errors happen. We'll live with it, but no more than 1. Okay, 0 mental errors. There's no excuse for it. Always be in the right spot and good effort and communication. 2 or less freebies. Of course, walks occur. A tough 3-2 pitch to get a guy. He may walk. The guy may lean over the plate, but no more than 2 freebies. And less than 50% of the leadoffs reach base, and you pretty much shut down big innings. Okay, so that's in my study of baseball, winning and losing, just watching this over and over and over, I see it. Much like in football, the team that controls the tempo of the game, they play at the tempo they want to, wins the majority of the game. So we're going to control the tempo. We want to be on and off the field in 18 seconds or less. So that's a nice steady jog out there, but you got to be intentional. Get off the field, get on the field. Okay, we're going to win the body language battle. This, not good. This, good. This, not good. This, good. They should not know if we're winning by 10 or losing by 10 looking at us. Aggressive, fun, picking your teammate up, doing the right thing, good energy the whole time. It's the way that honors God when you do it that way. When you mope around, that's not anything that represents this name well. It doesn't represent CCS well. Okay? We want to win 67% of the pitches. Yep, so we only lose 1 out of 3. We win 2 out of 3. That's a 1/3 spread. We should win every game if we do that. This year, and I'm challenging this for myself too, because I can be bad about this, no complaining or arguing with the umpires. Could they cost you a run? Sure. How about we play such a good game that 4-run margin, we don't have to worry about it. We go out and play our game. Umpires, players, everyone knows it doesn't matter. When you play CCS, it doesn't matter what the umpires do. They're probably going to beat you anyway because they don't even make that a deal. We don't even consider it. Win the war of words. Let's let nothing negative come out of our mouth. You get out, instead of moping in the dugout, hey man, it's a curveball, saw it out of his hand, it doesn't break that good. You can see it. Or hey, that's sharp. He'll probably throw it with 2 strikes. Be ready for it. Communicate. Use your failures as a way to communicate with your teammates to help the team. Last thing, win the positivity battle. Almost every team we play is going to have 1 or 2 guys on their team going negative at some point about something. Let that negativity spread in their dugout. We don't do that. If it's happening, you shut it down. You win those energy battles, a lot of times it's going to reflect to the way you do offense and defense as well. All right, so that's our breakdown of how to win. I know that's a lot of information, but hopefully that helps us, and I can't wait to see what happens. Hey, so my name is Eric. I teach high school math, coach baseball, do baseball lessons. I'm also the lead singer of my own musical act that I do. It's Eric Stephen Walker. And I love pursuing anything that helps pour into the lives of the kids, both with teaching and with coaching. I have a hitting company called Backwards Hat Hitting that I've started doing stuff on. So really anything to help give back to people, change their lives. That's what I love doing. It all starts from the fear of the Lord and the love of the Lord. And I try to make an impact with my life. So that's what I'm doing. I'm on a snow day today with school. So I've been working on a bunch of stuff with baseball and then with my music. So can't wait to share some of that.